Look, I'm going to be real with you. Everyone is saying that AI is going to replace this, AI is going to replace that, and it's honestly getting kind of worrying. Like, should you even be bothered to go for a cloud engineering role or an AI engineering role, or is AI just going to replace everything? We teach a community of over 120,000 students learning cloud and AI, and this is a very common question, and I get that it's worrying. But here are some of the things that I've learned. AI engineer roles are the fastest growing jobs on LinkedIn and is expected to grow by 40% by 2027. And guess what? They all need cloud infrastructure. I mean, we know companies are spending billions of dollars on cloud infrastructure and someone needs to build and manage that. So I feel like most people are asking the wrong question because it's not really about AI versus cloud anymore. It's clear that they're converging. So that's the actual question. How can I put myself on a path where these two jobs converge? And yes, I know that the numbers say one thing, but in reality, it is a really tough job market at the moment. It is harder than ever to get hired, and that's because the bar to entry is a lot higher than before as well. I think Jensen Huang from NVIDIA says it best. You're not going to get replaced by AI, but you are going to get replaced by someone who uses AI. So in this video, I'm going to timestamp everything so you can skip around as you want. But here's what we're going to cover. Firstly, we're going to look at the 3 phases of skills that you need for each path. We'll look at the job market and how complex it is right now. And most importantly, I'm going to show you how to actually get started and learn these skills through projects rather than tutorial hell. For AI engineers, programming fundamentals with Python and also having a strong background in math, calculus, statistics is going to really set you up for success. And as always, I'm not just talking about academic theory. You need to understand why your fraud detection model actually flagged a legitimate transaction, or why your recommendation system keeps suggesting a weird product. Get hands-on and practical with the tools. For cloud engineers, you need to learn the basics of Linux, networking, scripting. And something that I've learned is that you don't actually want to learn these things in isolation in theory land. You can actually be learning these concepts while you build on a cloud platform. Like, don't spend months learning about networking without actually creating a VPC or a subnet. You need to be learning these things with projects, and later on in the video, I'll show you how to do that. Trust me, this is the fastest way to learn and showcase your skills to recruiters. For AI engineers, master one machine learning framework first, something like TensorFlow or PyTorch. Then add cloud deployment skills on top of this because we know that AI systems run on cloud infrastructure. It's interesting to me that students in our community who've actually studied cloud first tend to get AI jobs faster because they understand how to deploy models at scale. For cloud engineers, infrastructure as code with Terraform is becoming a non-negotiable now. Plus, learning about containerization with Kubernetes and Docker is incredibly valuable now. The way that I'm seeing things going in the industry right now is that writing code that manages and deploys infrastructure is much more valuable than clicking around in a dashboard. And I feel like tools like Claude Code or Cursor are only going to give more power to engineers that can actually implement this technology. For AI engineers, this is kind of where it gets interesting. You learn things like LLM fine-tuning, vector databases, and frameworks like LangChain. But the thing that I see most AI boot camps get wrong is that they teach you to build models from scratch, which yes, it can be a useful skill, but from what I've seen in the industry, 90% of the real work is actually adapting models and systems to a business's needs. So if you can learn this in an actual hands-on manner, then you're really going to stand out in front of anyone else. For cloud engineers, things like security, compliance, FinOps, like financial operations, those are the things that you want to learn and get more in depth about. And that's basically making sure that your company doesn't go bankrupt because of a cloud bill. Also, like I said before, if you're a cloud engineer who's not learning about AI deployment, you're going to soon become a legacy admin. And that's hard to hear, but it's the reality with how everything's moving right now. So let's talk about everyone's favorite subject, money. In the US, AI engineers average 135 to 175K a year. Now, senior roles are going to hit 200 to 300K, but we've also seen those massive OpenAI contracts and Meta contracts of people getting paid $100 million, but that's pretty crazy. But you have to be the elite of the elite to get that. Cloud engineer roles typically sit around that 130 to 145K mark in the US, but senior roles are again going to approach around 200,000 with the top of the top earning millions. The thing that I find interesting and what a lot of people don't really look at is where you live is going to make a big difference too. Like the same AI skill set that pays, let's say 150K in Austin is going to pay you well over 200K in San Francisco. It's something that I feel like a lot of people don't think about, but you can leverage your skill set across the world to actually potentially get paid a lot more money. And as we've talked about so far in the video, if you can combine AI and cloud skills, man, you're going to get paid a lot of money because it is a position that companies are really desperate to fill right now. Let's talk about the job market real quick because it is very difficult at the moment. As I said before, for AI and for cloud roles, there's a big increase in demand. However, this demand is concentrated into different sectors. Obviously, we know tech is growing, but there's industries like finance or healthcare or government sectors or retail that are really growing rapidly because of the AI expansion. For cloud engineers, it can be tougher, obviously. Because AI engineer roles are relatively new, there's less competition than something like a cloud engineering role where there is more competition because people have been around doing this for longer. But man, if you can combine these skills, like I know that I keep saying this, but you will just be set up so well in this job market, and I want that to be you. So let's actually talk about how you can learn these skills and not be stuck in tutorial hell. After teaching 120,000 people how to learn cloud and AI, I can 100% guarantee the best way to learn is through hands-on projects where you learn the theory and the application all in one. Plus, at the end of each project, you get documentation. Now I'll quickly show you what that looks like. Now you want to go to this website here, learn.nextwork.org. I'll leave a link to it in the description below. And you want to create a free account and just sign in through Google. Now, once you've done that, you can actually go down to the bottom here and click this projects button, and there is a lot of different topics that you can choose from. If you're completely new to cloud and AI, I'd recommend doing this beginner's challenge. Otherwise, you can type in what you want to learn at the top here. Otherwise, you can search up some different roadmaps, and it's going to help you out massively. Also, just quickly, for those of you that don't know, on our website, nextwork.org, so there's no learn at the start, I'll also leave a link to this in the description. There is this new roadmap section where we've actually added roadmaps for different career paths with hands-on projects. So in this roadmap here, you actually see all of the projects that you can do that will help you get well on your path to becoming a cloud engineer. Or there's other ones like solutions architect, AI and machine learning, DevSecOps. And you're going to get a lot of these different projects with step-by-step guides that will help you learn the skill set while you actually build it in a project. Now, this is not going to get you 100% of the way there. Like, it doesn't mean that if you complete this, you will 100% get a job, but this is going to teach you a lot of the skills, and you also get documentation for your projects, which is incredibly important. Now, what I mean by documentation is once you complete a project, you can actually click this view documentation, download documentation, and you can choose your color. You can share it to LinkedIn, your own portfolio, PDF, README, Markdown, share it to GitHub. There's a lot of ways to showcase your work, which is so valuable in today's environment. If you can be building your personal brand, showcasing what you're learning, you're going to stand out well in front of other people. So all I need to do is go save documentation. Then I will head into my portfolio, and you can see here are some of the projects that I've done in the past. I've just seen my build a chatbot with Amazon Lakes project pop in. Then I get documentation that looks very sleek with the screenshots that I've added in as I've done the project. There's little questions and boxes that you get asked when you do the project, and this automatically formats everything for you. If you've ever done projects before, you know that documentation is kind of annoying, so I really like this feature, and it helps you showcase your skills even easier. Just before we move on to the next part, I also want to say that these roles also involve soft skills. You're not just coding in isolation, you're actually working with other people. You have daily stand-ups. You have to be able to explain technical concepts to non-technical stakeholders. This to me is the hallmark of a great engineer, is when they can explain something that is hard to understand in a very simple way so that anyone in the room can get it. And as an engineer, you're constantly documenting your work. So this is why when you do your projects, it's so important to document, because you're learning good frameworks and practice that is going to be useful when you're in the industry. And when you run into errors when you're doing a project, make sure that you speak about them, because this is normal. You're going to run into errors on a daily basis, most likely in an AI engineering role or a cloud engineering role. But really good engineers are ones that can debug quickly, solve problems, and stay calm under pressure. And you learn this by practicing it first when you're doing projects. Now, I did want to put in a section specifically for this in case you skipped to this part in the video, but there is a convergence of these two roles. I've seen job roles on Twitter for AI cloud engineer or cloud AI engineer, and I think these roles are going to become more and more common. Every AI system runs on cloud infrastructure, and cloud infrastructure is increasingly managed by AI. Thomas Kurian from Google Cloud puts it really well. There is a convergence of capability that lets customers move really fast. So our really successful students are ones that can build a deep knowledge in one, but also have a functional and foundational understanding in others. Companies are super desperate for people who can architect cloud-native AI platforms that are also performance and cost optimized. So just know, if you take anything away from this video, Having a diverse range of skill sets, particularly in cloud and AI, is going to set you up for future success. Anyway, as always, leave any comments or questions down below. I always try and respond to them. If not, join our community. There's over 20,000 people. We're a lot more active in there as well. And there's people who are in the industry that you can ask questions to. So I definitely recommend. Let me know what you want to see next. And I hope you have an amazing day and you land that role. I'm manifesting it for you. Peace out.